Great. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you. Thank you for joining. जगन्नाथ बलदेव जय, नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, पंच तत्व की जय, षड गोस्वामी की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, श्री गुरुपाद की जय, श्री गुरुदेव शंकराचार्य की। ओम विज्ञानत्वरान्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Today we'll be taking up verse number 18.40, chapter 18, verse number 40. So let us recite the verse. न तदस्ते पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तम् यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः। न तदस्ते पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तम् यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः. Translation by Divine Prabhupada ki jai. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is freed from these three modes born of material nature. So another very important verse from this chapter. So the three modes of nature, no? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. So we're all entangled, in fact. And see, that's why in this translation we just saw, right? Krishna is asserting that there is no being, nobody is existing. There's not even a single one who is existing either in this earth or the higher planet, even up to Brahmaloka. Nobody is freed from these three modes of middle nature. So Krishna, he gives very elaborate description of the three modes of and the qualities associated with them in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And it's made very clear that if you want to advance the Krishna consciousness, that is more important. The intense desire to advance the Krishna consciousness, then Krishna says we have to transcend these modes. That's why the purport of 14th chapter, that is in the 14.10, Prabhupada says, although there are these three modes of middle nature, if one is determined, then he can be blessed by the mode of goodness. And by transcending the mode of goodness, see, one is up to goodness, then he has to transcend. And by transcending the mode of goodness, he can be situated in pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva. And which is also called the Vasudeva state, a state in which one can understand the science of Krishna. So it becomes very clear, right, that we have to transcend the mode of goodness also, because goodness also binds us. If Rajas and Tamas are silver and iron chains that bind us, then Sattva is a golden chain that still binds us. So to understand this, very nice story of three robbers I will share with you. What happened? A merchant with some valuables, he was traveling alone, and he had to pass through a very dense forest to his home in the city. So what happened? While he was walking, he was waylaid by three robbers who took away all his possessions. And then the first robber said, let us kill him. The second robber, he argued, why incur the sin of killing him? Let us tie him up firmly in the tree. Let us tie him in the tree and kill him. The second robber's advice was followed, and they went away, leaving him to his fate. Then they left after tying him in the tree. After some time, the third robber, he returned and he unbound the merchant and took him to the edge of the forest along a road no leading to the city, and which could be seen. You can see from that the city is very near now. He took him there and left him there. Now, before the merchant, he thanked that third robber. He was very happy. Thank you, he said, for his kindness. And he requested him to accompany him so that he could be suitably rewarded when he reaches his home. But the third robber said, no, I cannot come with you. I cannot come with you to the city because I will be recognized as a robber by the police. So now the point to understand is the first robber was tamas, mode of ignorance, showing the quality of acting on impulse, instantly kill him. That is the first tamas. The second robber was rajas, mode of passion. And he was exhibiting the quality of binding to the pleasures of the sensory world. That is sense gratification. So, the, because he wanted to just finish it off and enjoy. The third robber was sattva, mode of goodness. And he showed the quality of kindness and compassion. He came back and untied him and took him to that, at least to the end of the road, and left him. But nevertheless, the third robber was still a robber, illustrating that it is essential to transcend all the three modes, as insisted by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 14.20, wherein it says, Krishna says, when the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. So, in fact, the way to do this is very beautifully explained in Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 15th chapter, 25th verse. Rajas tamascha satvena satvam chopashamena cha etat sarvam guru bhaktya purusho hyanjasa jayet. It says one must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness. Understood? One must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness. And then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Sattva. And he gives the solution. All this cannot be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the modes of nature. Very beautiful verse 7, 15, 25. If you have time, you can please go through that. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, just by treating the root cause of an ailment, one can conquer all bodily pains and sufferings. Similarly, if one is devoted and faithful to the spiritual master, he can conquer the influence of Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, and Tamo Guna very easily. See, yogis and gyanis, they practice in many ways to conquer the senses, right? But the bhakta, devotee, immediately attains the mercy of the Supreme Personality God through the mercy of the spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadam. So, your spiritual master is favorably inclined, then one naturally receives the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, what happens? One immediately becomes transcendental, conquering all the influences of Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, and Tamo Guna within this speaking word. So this is a bit catch hold of the dhoti of the devotee. See, in the pastime of Gajendra Moksha, right? Gajendra, who was praying there? Gajendra was praying. Who was released first? The crocodile. Why? Because he caught hold of the feet of the devotee. And devotee is Gajendra. But he was not helping or doing anything good to the Gajendra, right? He was troubling him, right? But still, Krishna first liberated the crocodile and then Gajendra. So we have to catch tight the dhoti of the devotee, like Srila Prabhupada and Gurus. See, in 325-24 purport, it says, Prabhupada says, a pure soul who is prepared to be freed from this material entanglement must, first of all, be free from the association of the three modes of nature. And our consciousness at the present moment is polluted. Because, why? because of association with three modes of nature. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, same principle is stated. It is advised, Jita Sangha Doshaha. One should be freed from the contaminated association with three modes of material nature. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this is confirmed. A pure devotee who is preparing to transfer himself to the spiritual kingdom is also freed from the association of the three modes of material nature. So we have to seek the association of such devotees. And for this reason, Prabhupada says in the purport, because we have to seek the association of such devotees, Prabhupada says this, for this reason we have begun the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. And he said there are many mercantile, scientific, and other associations in human society to develop a particular type of education or consciousness. But there is no association which helps one to get free from all material association. So if anyone has reached the stage where he must become free from this mental contamination, then he has to seek the association of devotees, where Krishna consciousness is exclusively cultured. There is nothing. So one can thereby become free, from all mental association. That is nothing but ISKCON. And in 333:27, purport, Prabhupada says, as soon as one is freed from the contamination of the three modes, yes, he no longer has to take birth to transmigrate from one form to another in this material world. That is the purpose of this transcending the modes. So as soon as one is free from this contamination of these three modes, right? Passion, goodness, and ignorance, then no longer he has to take birth, transmigrate from one body to another in this material world. So this is a beautiful verse which we can learn and understand why we have to cross over this modes. Of course, Krishna says it's very difficult to cross this, but with the association of devotees catching hold tightly the feet of a pure devotee, we can cross over these material modes. So, Grantra Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai Shri Prabhupada. I go. Thank you very much, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna for giving this opportunity for glorifying the Lord through this Bhagavad Gita verse. Hare Krishna. Hare. Thank you, Prabhupada.